Welcome to Post Time. I'm Heather Vitale. Now, I may be your host for the show, but for the next half hour, the spotlight is on horseman Vic Kirby. What's so special about Vic Kirby, and why would we have an entire half hour starring him? Well, that's a fair question, and here's your answer. Post Time has been on the air for over 20 years with several awards on its resume. But the program would not have been as successful as it is without the help of our local horsemen and women. And one of those people who never lets me down when I need assistance with a feature or an interview is Vic Kirby. This Delaware native has been our go-to guy for so many things. He's helped us with educational features. He's been a huge sponsor and participant in the Horse Lovers United Rickshaw Rumble. He's been in commercial parodies, lip sync videos, discussed the Delaware delicacy Scrapple, and even done some dancing. Vic has over 4,500 career wins. He's been a leading driver at Harrington Raceway, an advocate for horsemen's rights as a director for the Delaware Standardbred Owners Association, and everything he does is with a smile. So today, Mr. Kirby, this show's for you. We first officially met Vic back in 1999 when we did a feature on him along with his grandparents, Vinyl and Pearl. So let's turn back the clocks and check it out.
I used to show Guernsey heifers at Harrington Fair, and I'd go over and stay practically all week with them, and I'd go out there every afternoon and watch them horses racing. I got to thinking to myself, man, I'd love to have one of them things one time. I really started training these things or working with these things, I guess about, well, let's see, I've been a driving 51 years, so about a couple of years before that, I just kind of started, I was hanging up around Harrington a lot, and I got acquainted with a lot of the old trainers that used to be there and know them, and then somebody said to me, said, why don't you buy one? And finally I did. First we raced at Rosecroft, Harrington, Ocean Downs, what used to be the old Baltimore Raceway. And then we raced to Rosecroft and Free State, or was Laurel one time and changed to Free State. And then mostly after Brandywine and Libertyville got started, I mostly raced there.
Vinyl started his driving career in 1948, but it was a new arrival in the summer of 1972 that took him from a student of the game to a teacher.
Grandfather is the biggest influence on me in this business. He's the reason I got started. I spent all my free time when I was younger with him. I still spend a lot of time with him, and he's the biggest reason that I'm in the harness racing business. When I was younger, I always helped him in the summer and on vacations during school. Then when I graduated from high school, I thought about getting right into the business, but my mom kind of pressured me into college. And I was playing basketball at the time, and the school that I chose allowed me to play basketball there. And I went to Marymount University in Virginia, got a 4-year degree in communications and played basketball for 4 years. Then when I graduated in 1994, I went to work for a bank for about 8 months, and then harness racing just kept calling me back, and I started just taking catch paddocks. Then I took a full-time job with it.
When harness racing started to call Vic back, the first person he called was, you guessed it, his grandfather.
I tried to keep him from getting into it because he had worked with me. He had rode on my knee and helped jog, and then finally I got him to jogging, and then he after he got through school and he got through college, I was down in Florida, and he called me and said, Dad, I'm thinking about going back to training horses. He said, I don't like it in this bank.
And he always always comes to support me when I drive either my horses or other people's and his own. My grandmother and mother, they're the same way. They can't be there in person. They're watching somewhere on simulcast.
Although Vic's mom Sharon and his grandfather Vinyl think the world of him, they have some pretty stiff competition.
I'd have to say my grandmother is my biggest fan. My mom would probably get kind of mad about that, but anytime I'm racing, she's there, or like I say, she's watching somewhere. She does my laundry, and occasionally she'll wash my colors and bring them to me. She's a big supporter, and she's also my primary owner. The last few horses that I've bought, she's bought for me, and she's down as owner, and I'd have to say she is my biggest fan.
I hope he appreciates the fact that he's treated like he is. But no, he gets pretty good treatment. We love him. We dearly love him.
This is a sport where when it gets in your blood, you can't get it out. There's been so many people that you see complain about the industry, oh, I want to get out. Maybe they do get out, but eventually you see them coming back. I just had to say it's in the blood. It's in my blood, of course. There's nothing else I'd really want to do, and a lot of people in this business, that's all they want to do, and that's all they do.
Well, if you ever been in it and you ever really drove any yourself and owned some yourself, it's hard to get away from. It's kind of like a magnet. It just keeps drawing you back.
That is what we call classic post time at its best. Okay, now we need to shift gears just a little bit to get the 411 on the racing situation happening in Delaware. So everyone is probably wondering, when will live racing start back in Delaware? I wish I had an answer for you. The COVID-19 virus has brought about a lot of questions, including when we will start at Harrington Raceway. What I can tell you is that, of course, I will bring you whatever details I have each week. And you can also log on to the Harrington Raceway website at harringtonraceway.com for updates, plus the Delaware Standardbred Owners Association's website at dsoaonline.com is a great resource. In fact, if you're part of our local harness racing community, I encourage you to go to that website because there's important information as to what the DSOA has been doing to help our horsemen and women during this trying time in our sport, concerning purse distribution and special loans through the state that local horsemen and women may be eligible for. By the way, the DSOA Executive Director, Sal DeMario, is still available in the office by phone. If you have any questions, please feel free to call him at 302-678-3058. It's time to take a quick break, but when we come back, our Vic-tabulous post time continues with more features and racing action with the popular horseman. Stick around, we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Heather Vitale, and welcome back to the Vic Kirby Post Time Special. Vic is known as a harness horse driver and trainer. However, over the past 20 years, there have been several occasions where I've given him the title of Professor in Harness Racing 101 segments. Let's check out one of them.
We use pull-out earplugs for horses that get a little high-strung or nervous early. Try to keep them calm. A horse that wears themselves out or us out early in the race is usually no good late in the race. So, as you can see, this horse wears pop-out earplugs. I'm putting them on right now. Come on now, get up, get up, get up. Can I get a hand?
Yeah, here I'm the assistant.
Run them back here. They'll get hooked to the bike, so I can control them with my foot and pull them when I want him to hear me. Right now I'll put them in his ears. He can still hear, but not as much. This is gonna make you relaxed, isn't it? Can you hear me? Yeah, he can hear me.
He shook his head no.
Now we'll hook the bike on. This string that is hooked to the plugs in his ears, it's hooked back here to the stirrup. Different people hook them different ways. Very simple to hook up. Want to make sure it's not interfering with the lines or anything else. And there the string is. My foot will be here. I usually put this over top of my foot. And then when I want him to respond or want him to hear me, which is usually late in the mile, I'll pull them out. They'll pop out of his ears. Some horses really respond well to it. Some, it doesn't really make any difference, but it's a helpful tool for a horse that kind of gets a little anxious early in the mile.
See a few of them leaving. I'm taking back. Then I use these plugs. All right. Not that it's gonna do me a whole lot of good. I think we snuck fifth of those.
They worked, I pulled them and got fit. Now we come in and undo them. Simple as that. Go ahead and walk over. We'll get run over. Unhook the bike. Go on to the next one.
Thanks, Vic, for that tutorial. Now let's get into some racing action featuring Cocky Cam Shark, who was Vic's first top horse he trained and drove. Here's the Pacer's career best from 2001 at Dover Downs.
They go to the back stretch now, and it's Rommel with the lead over Getaway Hall. Tommy's Eldorado comes to the outside, 3 wide and flying is Cocky Cam Shark. They go up the back stretch. Rommel, Cocky Cam Shark is up on the outside to go after Rommel now. Getaway Hall is back to third. Tommy's Eldorado went in reverse. 3 wide is Norwell Cowboy. They go into the final turn now. And Cocky Cam Shark is battling with Rommel. It's another 2 back to Getaway Hall. On the outside, Norwell Cowboy. 3/4, 122 and 2. And Cocky Cam Shark has gotten the lead from Rommel. 2 lanes. Getaway Hall is next. They come to the top of the stretch. And from the outside, it's Cocky Cam Shark up to get the lead. Rommel trying to come back toward the inside. They come through the stretch. It'll be Cocky Cam Shark to win it. Cocky Cam Shark in front. Rommel will be second best with Gangster Rap third in 151 and 3.
Cocky Cam Shark takes his lifetime best of 151 and 3 on the very first day of 2001 for trainer-driver Vic Kirby. At the time, he was 5 years old and was owned by Ron MacArthur and Tamsco Stable. However, after the Pacer left the Kirby barn, Vic's mom Sharon bought him back in 2009 to retire him on their farm in Milford and live out his life here in Delaware, where he brought a lot of happiness to their family and to the local racing fans. Now it's time for this week's post-time brain teaser, and it's about Vic Kirby. Imagine that. How many times has driver Vic Kirby won the Governor's Cup at the Delaware State Fair? I'll give you the answer after this. The answer to the post-time brain teaser? I asked, how many times has driver Vic Kirby won the Governor's Cup at the Delaware State Fair? The answer is 3 times. His first Governor's Cup victory came in 2014 with Just a Jolt, trained by Jim King Jr. and owned by Jack Dayton in 150 flat. It was the first Governor's Cup victory for Kirby, King, and Dayton. That time equaled Just a Jolt's own track record at Harrington for a 4-year-old gelding, a record that he still co-holds today, along with the champion Wiggle It Jiggle It. The very next year, over Harrington's half mile, Vic won his second Governor's Cup again with Just a Jolt, owned by Janet Hudson and trained by Jim King Jr. And that time was in 1:51.2. And Vic's third Cup visit to Victory Lane at the Delaware State Fair came last summer in 2019 with Sicily, owned by Legacy Racing of Delaware and Reggie Hazard, and trained by Wayne Givens in 1:52.2. Vic Kirby has done countless interviews and features on Post Time over the years. However, I think it's safe to say that this one was the most popular when we threw a microphone on him and headed behind the gate.
Can you hear me? I'm looking pretty, leave me alone. Scoring down, just getting a feel for him. I know this horse because I've been driving him, so I know what kind of quirks he's got. Everybody has their own technique for scoring down. Mine's pretty simple. Get the feel for him. If I know him, it's no big deal. If I don't know him, I might score him down a little harder. All right, we're going to the gate now. Showtime. One thing about this horse, he doesn't like to be put right up on the gate. So I kind of got to time it a little bit. He's prone to make a break behind the gate every once in a blue moon. Now we get up here, I'll try to decide what I want to do. Whether I want to leave, take back. Most likely I'm thinking of taking back unless something changes. I'll see what happens when we get up here. Everybody else looks like they're leaving. Well, there they go. I took back, a few of them left. Man, they're strolling out of there. I'll just settle in here and get the best trip I can get. They get speeding up front, that's good for me. See Jimmy Moran moving to the front with one of the favorites. Hopefully I can pick up good cover. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on. Now I gotta look for cover. Everything's settled on the front. I think I'm gonna stay to the rail. Cover doesn't look too good. This might be a bad move, but take our chances. Gotta hope I get loose late now. Outer flow's going nowhere. Oh, there's the opening. Come on. Get up here. Yeah. Got a little pace if I can get some room up here. Get up. Yeah. Come on, boy. Hey, Cully. Get up here. I'm gonna get a good check anyway. Get up here. Wagner out here in the way. Get up. Yeah. Get up. Get up here. Get up. Get up to third. Come on, Jimmy Moran. Give me third. Yes, sir. Frank Milby won, so I'm happy for Frank, even though I like beating him. I think we got third out of it, so that was pretty good. The outer flow never developed. Sometimes staying to the rail isn't all that bad. He won his last start, but that's been, that was June 15th, I think I looked on the board, so that's been 2 months ago. We'll have to see what he's up to. Probably take the short, hey! Acts like he wants to kick. I don't like that a whole lot. All right, we got 2 minutes to post. I'm 21-1. That's not a good sign. That means the bettors either don't like me, they don't like the horse, or they don't like either. Guess we'll have to try to prove them wrong. All right, we're done scoring down the right way now. Just let you chill out. Let me chill out. My only instructions from the trainer was don't be the first one to the gate. After that, he said I'm on my own. I don't know if that's good or bad. Come on here, big fella. Let's go. See what you got. 70-1.
Bring him up.
All right, there they go. I'm taking back. Sitting fourth, that ain't a bad spot. Especially when I'm 70-1. Come on. Come on, big fella. Keep up here. Act like a big lazy bugger. Yeah! Now they're going some, they're leaving me, but I still got a shot at a check. Get up here! Got a shot at a little more than a check, really. Up, 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 up! Get up here! Yeah! Look at you right in the way, whoa! Get up! It's 99-1. Did I keep you informed the whole way?
Coming up, our Vic Kirby extravaganza post-time show continues with a fun Q&A session, plus a blast back in time to 2009 with a very special trotting mare. Don't go away, we're coming right back. Welcome back to Post Time. I'm your host, Heather Vitale. Did you know that Vic Kirby is the driver on 7 current track record holders at Harrington Raceway? Yep, more than any other driver. Here are some other things you may not know about Vic, as we found out in this Q&A. What is something you're terrible at, but you like to do anyway?
I would say that would be golf. I'm actually a horrible golf player, but I enjoy going out and playing because you can drink while you're playing.
If you could pick just one meal to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Anything at Cool Springs Restaurant in Dover. Their whole, and this isn't a PSA for them, but their whole menu is delicious and I love going there.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten about driving and training horses?
Driving, I would say, came from my former employer, John Wagner, who, when I started driving, always told me the shortest way around the track is to stay to the rail. That drives some trainers that I drive for crazy, but I still stick with that sometimes. And training, I would say my late grandfather, Vic Kirby, always taught me to respect and listen to the animal.
What's the weirdest thing about you?
I had a tough time coming up with this, but my stepdaughter, Erica Brittingham, pointed out to me that every day I come home for lunch, I take 2 Oreo cookies and split them in half with a glass of milk. That way I feel like I'm eating 4 Oreo cookies, but I'm really only eating 2.
If you could be the member of any TV sitcom family, which family would it be?
That would be Shameless, and my favorite character on there is Frank Gallagher. Some people that know me would understand that, but definitely Shameless. If you know Frank, I probably shouldn't tell you, but Frank's kind of a raunchy old guy that's pretty smart, that just delves into anything there is, and if you haven't watched the show, it's a great show to watch.
Other than harness racing, what's your favorite sport and your favorite team?
I'd say favorite sport would be basketball. I actually played 4 years of college basketball. It's a shame we're going to miss March Madness this year. Favorite team, I got to go to football. And that'd be Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. Harness racing is just in your blood. College basketball was something I used to be pretty good at years ago. And like you say, got a partial scholarship to a Division III school in Arlington, Virginia. And then when I got out of there, like any college kid, what do? So I landed back in horse racing, and here I am.
What is your favorite memory in harness racing?
I would go back to the late 90s. One night at Ocean Downs, my late grandfather actually had 2 of his own horses in that night, and I had just started driving regularly, so I was driving them, and both of them won. And that was pretty cool for him to have 2 winners that night, and I remember him walking down the track to the winner's circle, so that's a pretty special moment, even with all the big races and stuff like that. It's something that sticks out.
What do you bring to a friendship?
Honesty. People that know me can appreciate that.
What's your best life advice?
I think it's pretty simple. I like to treat others the way I want to be treated, and I think that's a pretty simple philosophy.
Thanks, Vic. And to top off our show, let's bring in a top mare from the Kirby stable named Almar Surprise from the 2009 Delaware State Fair in this edition of the Charles D. Murphy Memorial Trot.
57 3/5 around the turn toward the backstretch. Almar Surprise. DiMangio's off stride. Go Nano Go takes over second, followed by Joe Bordesharper back to the rail. They head up the backstretch. All Mars Surprise leads it. Go, Nano, go. Jobo DeSharba back to the outside, followed by Looking Hanover in fourth. They go to 3/4. All Mars Surprise, a 2.5 length lead. They go by 3/4 in 1:26 3/5 into the far turn. All Mars Surprise, Go, Nano, go. Jobo DeSharba there third. Toward the inside, that's Spunky Vic going 3 wide, Looking Hanover. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's All Mars Surprise with the lead coming off the turn. All Mars Surprise, Go, Nano, go, tries the inside, coming through the stretch. All Mars Surprise has got the lead, and it will be All Mars Surprise to win it for Vic Kirby in 1:56 3.
All Mars Surprise, owned by Matt Ivory and Vic Kirby, who's also the trainer and the driver, was the only female in the race, and at that time, her 1:56 3 score in the Charles D. Murphy Memorial Trot was a new track record for 4-year-old trotting mares at Harrington Raceway. Although that record has since been broken, All Mars Surprise does still hold the track record for aged trotting mares at the Delaware Half-Mile Oval in 1:54 2. Oh, and one more fun fact about Vic. Did you know that all 4 of his 1,000 win milestones were achieved at Harrington Raceway? He drives at tracks all over the East Coast during the year, but no doubt he has a special relationship with his hometown track. Thank you so much for spending a little of your morning with me for this Vic Kirby Post Time Special. Before I head out, let's chat a little bit about the current racing situation here in Delaware. The COVID-19 virus has brought about a lot of questions, including when we will start at Harrington Raceway. What I can tell you is that, of course, I will bring you whatever details I have each week. And you can also log on to the Harrington Raceway website at harringtonraceway.com for updates, plus the Delaware Standardbred Owners Association's website at dsoaonline.com is a great resource. Have a wonderful week, stay safe, and God bless.